Hi, and welcome back to today's top headlines.
Later on, you will hear about Facebook emphasizing friends over news stories in a series of changes, as well as President Trump's most recent Twitter scandal. But we will start with this week's top story.
As statistics emerge about food insecurity and poverty worldwide, new developments are being made regarding corn-based ethanol and its validity as a fuel source.
Almost 800 million people globally suffer from chronic undernourishment, which is approximately 1 in 9 people worldwide.
Additionally, in Canada, 1 in 8 households are food insecure, with over 4 million Canadians, including over 1 million children, living in homes that struggle to put food on the table.
This information is causing researchers to examine where our food is going.
Ethanol has become hugely popular over the past years, framed as a way to solve environmental problems regarding carbon emissions.
Corn-based ethanol particularly has gained a lot of traction, marketed as a fuel that is much cleaner than gasoline, with the main intended use being for transportation.
It has typically been taken for granted that since ethanol is cleaner fuel than gasoline, corn should be converted into ethanol to be used for fuel.
But is it really so much cleaner on a life cycle basis? Truthfully, there is so much uncertainty and conflicting research that there is no certain answer to this question.
A significant drawback of corn-based ethanol is the loss of carbon sinks, such as forests. With forests being clear-cut to make room for more corn crops, the benefit of the photosynthesis of these trees, with carbon being replaced with oxygen, is lost.
Interestingly, carbon emission statistics typically do not take deforestation into consideration, meaning that a country aiming to meet the Kyoto Protocol standards does not need to reduce deforestation.
Additionally, research by Robert Hahn at the University of Oxford shows that although ethanol is likely to reduce carbon dioxide emissions, it may not decrease overall greenhouse gas emissions, as ethanol use increases annual emissions of nitrogen oxides, and ethanol production and transportation may increase emissions of sulfur oxides, particulate matter, and volatile organic compounds.
Another researcher, Matthew Simmental, argues that the ethanol industry has grown so fast that it has outpaced the science, increasing the need for precaution. One of the main alternatives to corn-based ethanol is cellulosic ethanol.
Cellulosic ethanol can be produced through the combustion of lignin, an organic material found on the inside of plant cell walls.
Lignin can be found in waste products such as corn stover and paper pulp, which makes these materials useful in the production of cellulosic-based ethanol.
As end products, conventional corn-based ethanol and cellulosic ethanol seem to be almost indistinguishable, as they both yield roughly 2/3 the energy of gasoline.
However, at a closer glance, we can see that these two forms of fuel have some very significant differences. Firstly, corn-based ethanol provides 26% more energy than what is required to produce it, whereas cellulosic ethanol produces approximately 80% more energy.
What's more is that while corn-based ethanol may diminish emissions in comparison to gasoline by about 10 to 20%, cellulosic ethanol reduces emissions by roughly 80% and can even sometimes be entirely CO2 neutral.
And since cellulosic ethanol can be produced by using waste products such as corn stover, it does not diminish food supply, which is a major caveat associated with corn-based ethanol.
So, why are we still using corn-based ethanol on such a commercial scale?
It looks like it really comes down to politics and economics, not environmental reasons.
70% of the American public, when polled, thought that ethanol was a good idea.
Politicians have been voicing this opinion as well, often using it as a way to promote environmental goals.
Lobbyists from the corn industry are very prominent, spending $9 million in lobbying expenditures between 1998 and 2007.
They do this because ethanol raises the demand for corn, leading to higher corn prices and higher revenues for corn growers.
There is also a lot of money in the biofuel business. When interviewed recently, the CEO of a major biofuel company stated that although the ethanol conversation is often about the environment, his business is to make money, and that is what he focuses on.
To summarize,
people are hungry, and food insecurity is a huge problem.
there are biofuel options available, such as cellulosic ethanol, that do not use food and are even cleaner than corn-based ethanol.
Politics and economics are at the base of something that is covered up as an environmental issue.
And now over to you, Jim, for a quick follow-up on Donald Trump's most recent Twitter activity.
Until next time, this has been CN News. Thank you.